this is our canvas board after everything has been dried and sealed with the gel medium. And now we're going to apply gesso. And this is an example of a gesso canvas. We're going to apply black gesso. And black gesso creates a very dynamic kind of painting. It highlights some of the values on the canvas. We can remove, we can apply, and the gesso can create contrast, and a lot of interesting techniques can be done with the black gesso. So here's an example of where the black gesso plays a role in your canvas. So a little bit of the paint was removed while still wet, and a little bit of the black underneath is revealed. So that's one example of how black gesso can improve your painting. Also, there's a little bit of that black hiding underneath here and in some random spots. Okay, so to apply black gesso, we can pour a little bit onto the canvas, or we can apply it on the brush itself. And again, with this process, you can be a little wasteful because you want to make sure everything gets covered with the gesso. And now that I apply it everywhere, I go back and I make sure I don't have puddles or any extra, which might take longer to dry. And I make sure everything is even as best as possible. Right? So this is our canvas with black gesso. I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to let it dry. And I want to show you one quick technique I like to do. I like to paint a small piece of watercolor paper with the same gesso I'll be using on my mixed media painting. And then I do a little bit of a color study. So before I put any paint on my final piece, I want to make sure that paint is going to look well on my canvas. So here I tested a variety of colors that I thought I wanted to use. And if you notice, some of them kind of disappeared. So these colors I know are not going to work well. And I know that, you know, I can eliminate them completely before I even put them on my canvas. So I eliminate a lot of errors before they even happen. So while your brush is still wet with the gesso, you can take a small piece of watercolor paper and apply gesso and let it dry together with your canvas so that you can test your colors before you apply it to the canvas. I like to test everything before I do it because I could save a lot of time when I am painting my final piece by just testing out my colors And this is a good practice to do with any other project that you're trying to do. Okay, that only took a little bit. All right, and we'll let this dry together and we'll use it as our test piece.